It's episode 94 of Delivering Marketing Joy. This time we talk with Jessica Hiner about the importance of mentorship and why in sales you have to sell yourself. Hey there, and welcome to another edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. I am your host, Kirby Hasseman, and I'm very excited today because I have a good friend with me, Jessica Hiner. She's the VP of Key Accounts at the Magnet Group. And Jessica, I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks for having me today. I'm very excited to be on the list to be one of your interviewees.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, you and I have known each other a little bit off and on for a long time, and one of the things I know about you is you're very much into mentorship within our industry. And I'm a member of Promo Kitchen, which is all about mentorship within our industry. And so, why do you think that mentorship is so powerful?
Many times, and this is both personal and professional, sometimes you have the idea in your head, which you're in this alone, which you never are. Mm-hmm. And of course, when you first start out in your career, you're trying to make your mark and you want everyone to know who you are, and you feel like you're, pulling from different angles and pulling from different resources and not necessarily utilizing those that have gone down that path before we're experiencing today, and you possibly need some guidance. So there are a lot of key points and areas of opportunity when we can, explain what we're experiencing on a day-to-day basis and pull from those mentors that have gone before us as far as the trials and tribulations, in a sense. I personally have a handful of mentors, that I have, both on the Magnet Group family side, Bill Korowitz, of course, our CEO, Trisha Piontek, she's another key mentor of mine on the VP and general manager side. And then, of course, industry. I've known Ronnie Wright for many years, so she's another I call on and just say, hey, here's what I'm experiencing. What do you think? Because again, it's always best when you're a source with numbers and you align yourself with a team, and that's why I think mentorship is important.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, Jessica. This is something I really struggled with early in my career. I think it's almost a source of insecurity. I was always like, if it's to be, it's up to me, right? And something I think I've grown with is the ability to humble myself and ask. And it's amazing how much I've learned by doing that.
Absolutely, absolutely. People are always afraid to ask questions.
Yeah, and it's so funny. People want to help if you allow them, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So one of the other thing I was thinking about is, obviously we're in a sales profession, and I always say everybody's in sales, right? But in the sales culture we live in today, how important do you think it is that you sell yourself first?
You are your own brand. And first and foremost, what you convey to the customer and what you convey to your audience is of the utmost importance beyond any product, beyond any service that we, provide to our customers and to our prospects and those that we are in front of. It's always important to convey the message that you want those to remember you by. Because again, it might not necessarily be down to the magnet or the award or something, of course, that I might sell. It's something where my customer is selling it based upon doing business because it's with me and they have that relationship with me. So, of course, on the outside, of course, greeting everyone with a smile and giving them that, personality pitch, but in the end, just representing yourself and what you provide overall, because we're in a business of relationships, and that's what it comes down to. You're doing business with your friends, you're doing business with your, so-called extended, industry family. So that's where I feel that selling yourself, in the end, comes, forward and true. A lot of times more important than the product you back.
Yeah, I mean, I always say people buy from people they like, know, and trust, right?
Yeah.
And I will tell you from the other side of the business, when we're loyal to a particular person, the business tends to follow that person. So just to echo your point, I totally buy into that for sure. It matters.
Absolutely.
So you'd mentioned, obviously you need to get in front of those relationships matter, but you have to get in front of clients. And there's a lot of people, whether it's in our industry or any industry, right, trying to vie for your client's attention. So what do you have any tips for making your sales presentation stand out?
Great question, Kirby. And I had the pleasure of presenting that at the that particular topic, I should say, at the most recent women's conference this past just a couple weeks ago. And effective presentations was the topic that I was presenting. And a few tips that I highlighted within that presentation is first, of course and foremost, know your audience, do your homework. Of course, all of us are different. Know what they want. It's not necessarily the sales pitch on what the company does and the organization that you're representing, but you have to speak to your audience as far as what are they looking out of your product or service? What are they looking for in order to help them grow their business or help them do their job? Don't sacrifice the connection with the customer over the content. And sometimes we're so focused on, drilling it in with all of the different specifics of what our company can do for them. And we miss the mark with making that connection with the customer. Yeah. Relationship, obviously, going back to the question that we just talked about, showing your personality and giving everyone a sense of who you are. Another key point is, of course, practice what you preach and do what you say you're going to do. A lot of times when you are offering up something or you're giving a product or service and you are promising that you're going to deliver that, follow through with what you say you're going to do, because a lot of times you can miss the mark when you offer up a free spec sample or whatever the case is, and then you are crickets and it's silent on the other end and nothing comes from it. Yeah. So those are a few key points I would think as far as where you can really establish that relationship with your customers and drive the business forward.
Yeah, I love the concept of look at and I think most salespeople or many salespeople have made the mistake that they're just so enamored of what they're selling or what they're saying that they're not necessarily looking at it through the customer's eyes. What problem are they trying to solve? And that's super important and a great reminder for all of us who are trying to sell anything. So that's good stuff. Well, you've answered my 3 questions, and I appreciate that. Everybody gets to ask me one question. Do you have one for me?
I do. So, of course, you started in the business, of course, when you were 12. And some case histories in a sense. Yeah. So I would like to ask you, what is that promotion or order opportunity or assistance that you provided to a customer that has basically been that pat on the back in a sense, saying, hey, I'm glad I take the credit for that. I helped the customer with that promotion or with that item. So what would you say has been one of your favorite case histories? Yeah,
that's a really good one. I'm going to give you a little bit of an unorthodox answer. And I think part of it is I struggle to minimize it. And I don't mean that this sounds like I'm patting myself on the back too much, but there's honestly a lot. There's a lot of projects where I'm like, oh, I think we really hit the mark on that, and I think we guided the client in the right direction. The order that kind of stands out in my mind, I was with a large distributor for a long time, and when we went out on our own and started, this company, you're always concerned, right? You're concerned with, are we going to be able to service the clients? Are we going to be able to get certain pricing? Are we going to be able to do what I hope we're going to be able to do? And about a month into us being out on our own, we get a call from a really big client that wants to spend they essentially ordered 300,000 of one item. And I just remember hanging up the phone and saying, oh, wow. You want to spike the football, but they tell you just hand it to the referee, right? But didn't, we followed through and made that order really happen, and that set us in motion from a cash flow perspective to set us up for success. And then it also kind of, reminded everybody in the room that we are going to be able to do this successfully long term. And so we nailed it from the client's perspective, but it also kind of, sometimes as an entrepreneur, you need the reassurance to go, oh, okay, yeah, I actually can do this. And so that's the one that just pops into my head when you ask that.
Awesome. We all have had those opportunities for sure.
Yeah, well, it's a good day. I'd like another one tomorrow.
Right? Me too.
Yeah, right. Well, hey, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. And we'll have to do it again, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, but wait! Can you do me a favor? Please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done it already, the way to do it's right over here. And hey, if you want to watch the last episode, check that out over here. Again, before you leave, subscribe!